Hey everybody, Ben here from the Bonehead podcast, and welcome to Blood Bowl 7's Old World Alliance. So we are looking at all the teams in Blood Bowl 2020 rulebook, Teams of Legend PDF, NAF Expanded Team PDF as well, and we're looking at just what you can run in Blood Bowl 7s. Blood Bowl 7s is a quick play Blood Bowl format, smaller pitch, smaller teams, smaller time. Love it. If you want to know more about Blood Bowl 7s, watch our intro video or one of the 2 full seasons we have of 7's Super Series where we play a ton of Blood Bowl 7. So it's the 2016 rules, but you'll have a very good understanding of what 7s is like after that. So Old World Alliance is a very new team. It only got snuck in last year and we didn't get a lot of chance to play it on the tabletop. It has been renovated already though and boosted up a little bit, which makes it really interesting for 7s. It's got bits of the human team, bits of the dwarf team, and some halflings and a tree man. It's a real mix of players. In 7s, you have a limit of 4 positionals, so everybody else has to be alignment except for 4 people. That means teams like Chaos Renegades and Old World Alliance, where you have a ton of individual players, get kind of tricky to run in 7s, so we are going to have a look at some of what we think are the best rosters if you want to take your OWA team to the pitch in 7s. So strengths of the OWA team are the humans, to be honest with you. On OWA, you get a human thrower, a human catcher, and a human blitzer. Now, each of these players are very good at what they do. The thrower and the blitzer are basically up there with the top versions of that kind of player, and you really can't sniff at a movement 8 dodge catcher either, even if they're only strength 2 and only agility 3+. There are a ton of teams out there that would murder for that positional. So each of those human players are individually very useful, and you get a choice of 4 positionals. The other strength here has to be the ogre. Ogres are fantastic. They're really good in 7s. That Ag 4+ and the movement 5 means that you can take that strength 5 mighty blow and you can really do a chunk of work. Plus, every bit of removal in 7s is way more impactful than it is in 11s as well. So humans and an ogre kind of tie up really nicely. The thing is with OWA, there's a bit of loner here as well. They've got access to dwarves. They have loner 3+. But it's 7s, guys, and these guys have 140k rerolls, so loner kind of goes away in 7s. There will be times where you spend extra cash getting an assistant coach and you might be able to just get that free reroll. You might take leader on your thrower to get that team reroll, and yeah, loner is going to be a bit of a pain, but most of the time in 7s, everybody's got loner 1+ because you don't have rerolls, so kind of going to take the edge off. However, they do also have a smattering of animosity when it comes to the human players, so if you are going to use the dwarves to score or the halflings to score, you do have a cheeky 2+ roll to fail. And as somebody who failed a 1+, who failed a double go for it into the end zone this week, 2+ is not a given. Anyway, let's look at our first roster for OWA. It is the OTB Slayer build. So this one comes in at 555. So that's 4 assistant coaches. So you are hoping to roll sweet on the kickoff table and kind of sneak your way into 1 or 2 rerolls across the course of the game. So this roster, you have got the ogre, you have got the blitzer, and you have got the thrower. That's the ogre and the human blitzer and human thrower there. You're also backed up by the slayer and 3 linemen. So you've got a full lineup of 7 players here. So not a lot of resilience, and apart from the ogre, everyone is armor 9+. However, apart from the ogre, everyone's armor 9+, so that's actually not bad at all. Now, the beautiful thing about this roster is you get that slayer, and frenzy can be awesome in 7s if you've got the skills and strength to back it up. Ogre, blitzer are both guys who can take strength on a normal skill up, so you are only that far away from having a guard piece. Guard plus a frenzy is a good time, especially when that frenzy is the dauntless slayer who already has block. So realistically, the thing I love about this roster is you get an ogre who's able to blitz on a 2+ and do a superb job wherever he goes at strength 5 with mighty blow. You've also got that slayer who is 1 assist from pretending to be strength 5, and you've got that frenzy as well. So you've got 2 kind of opportunity blitzers here. You've got 2 strong combat pieces and you've got the human thrower with passing 2+, is going to be able to do some work for you, but he's really there for sure hands and to potentially be your leader caddy. And then you've got the human blitzer, who at movement 7, edge 3+, block, armor 9+, is just a fantastic piece as well. And like I said, he can take strength. So if you want to go heavy on Mighty Blow, you can go Mighty Blow Slayer, Mighty Blow Blitzer. Ogre already got it, and you are absolutely cooking on the corpses of your opponents. But you can swap it around a little bit, drop the Slayer, make him a Dwarf Blitzer, and you will have enough spare cash to pick up your 8th player. So armor goes up there because the armor of the Blitzer is a sweet armor 10. That means you've got 2 pieces now with armor 10. You've still got the Ogre, you've still got the Blitzer, you've still got the Thrower. So the Thrower is going to be your ball caddy / leader caddy. You've got the Blitzer to be kind of reserve ball person. You've got an Ogre there to do damage, whether he's protecting or delivering pain to your opponents. And you've got a Dwarf Blitzer. Now the Dwarf Blitzer is also edge 3+. Yes, he's got Loner. So if you do have the roll, the re-roll there, the rubber for the leader, or just, you know, sneaking your way into an assistant coach reroll, you do have the potential of it being a problem, and you do also have that animosity issue there, handing the ball off to the Blitzer. But you still have a Blitzer, and the Blitzer's there is a great piece, comes with block as well. So what you have lost in that regard, you've gained from the fact you've got a free skill, you've got an additional block piece. You've also got 4 human linemen. Let's not underestimate these guys. Edge 3+, movement 6, armor 9+. These guys do everything you want them to do. I think they even pass on a 4+, which ain't bad these days either. And you can always chuck a couple of skills on these guys. I mean, look at this roster. Chuck in 2 linemen with kick. That would be ridiculous. I do like kick in 7s. But 2 guys with block. You got Ogre, punching stuff. You got Blitzer with block, lineman with block, lineman with block. You actually build a really tough team here, and because you know, Loner is mostly mitigated, you're not really going to pay for it, which is also pretty sweet. And most importantly, you get to paint an Ogre, you get to paint a Dwarf Blitzer, you get to paint some humans. This is kind of where OWA shines, because you've got a bit of everything. But if you're willing to kind of change up what you do, you can sneak a reroll in there. So this one here is the mixed reroll build. We've got this for you at 600, so no spare cash anyway. 1 Tree Man. So Tree Man, Tree Men's, Tree Proud Feats can be great in 7s. They are very effective as a 2 in a halfling team. Okay, yeah, they're movement 2, but if you are willing to risk those go for it, they are, generally speaking, 3 squares plus a blitz, and that is 7 squares wide on a 7s pitch. There's not a lot of leeway there. You are not going to be far away from being punched in the face by a strength 6 tree. Yeah, they're going to take root sometimes, and yeah, they're going to fail those cheeky 1+ go for it, but when they do, their armor 75, so they're going to be fine, yeah, as long as they can stand up again. So the crack with this roster here is you get 1 reroll, a tree, a human thrower to potentially be a leader caddy for that reroll number 2 if you want. You've also got a blitzer here because you can't quite afford the human blitzer, but you've still got a reasonable player in the blitzer there. Taking that block is going to be really important. But this is the cool thing, you've also got a halfling. So the reason the halfling is here is 1, to be thrown by the tree, so looking at jump up as a useful skill here for him. But secondly, because the halfling is 30k, you get to sneak that reroll in, and the reroll is very expensive. These guys are somehow rated as tier 1, so you're not going to get a lot of skills. You're probably going to get 2, maybe 3 if your TO is feeling very, very generous. So having that reroll means you don't necessarily need to put leader on your thrower, which means you can do something else. You can go for a block on the thrower and create another blitzer. There's a ton of stuff you can do here, but him having sure hands is going to save your neck. That tree is going to be great on defense. You've got a cheeky halfling throw, so you can go for the 1-turn touchdown, but also you can play paratroop behind enemy lines and Operation Market Garden your opponent with a cheeky jump up halfling onto their side of the field and just harangue the ball carrier. And remember, you're kicking into the neutral zone here in 7s as well, so a cheeky throw teammate is it can divide your opponent's team quite nicely. So this roster is very different. You've got a tree man, you've got a halfling, you've got a dwarf blitzer. It is proper OWA, but it's probably the most reliable one I can think of while having bits and pieces of the different teams. Or you can go max combat. So we've got max combat here. Action Hero Supreme, 555, again, 4 assistant coaches there, take it up to 595, maximise your opportunity to get that cheeky reroll. Ogre for the strength 5, wonderful blitzing opportunity with Mighty Blow. 1 human blitzer because they're great. Ignore the fact it suggests taking block. it's already got block. 1 Slayer for all the frenzy goodness we just described, and a Dwarf Blitzer. So you get 3 players with block, 1 Strength 5 player. Chances of you getting a double to give block on the Ogre is very limited, so you can look at giving him guard and using him as a Bonehead Strength 5 pillar of awesome. You're backed up with 3 linemen who are going to be able to do stuff. And that's the great thing about OWA is, yes, you're kind of like, ooh, I've got 1 thrower, ooh, I've got 1 human blitzer. But your linemen are better at ball handling than most other teams in 7s because they have to choose between combat and ball, and the linemen are garbage. The linemen here are some of the best players on this roster. And the cool thing is that you get to use a sweet dwarf miniature if you've got one. You get to use a sweet ogre miniature. Can't show you that one. If you've got one, you've got a bit of everything here. But from a putting it on a pitch point of view, you've got 1 block frenzy piece, you've got 1 reasonably armor invincible block piece, you've got the blitzer, which is a sweet player anyway, you've got an ogre. This is like the A team of Blood Bowl, just not quite as fun. But what is fun is the Moot Madness roster. This one also comes in at 555. Apparently that's the OWA sweet spot. 1 tree, 1 thrower, 2 halflings, 4 human linemen, 1 reroll, take leader on the thrower for 2 rerolls. You've got no block, you've got no resilience because you're running 2 halflings. Those are your positional choices. You've got 4 human linemen, you've got 8 players and potentially 2 rerolls with leader. This is all about theming your team around some halflings. You do have the cash to upgrade that thrower to any other positional. You can only take 1 big guy, otherwise that would be sweet. So you can drop the thrower and replace him with a blitzer if you want to kind of go the Lord of the Rings theme. You know, you've got a big tree man, you've got Treebeard there, you've got a couple of halflings, Merry and Pippin, and then you can pick an action hero of your choice. Let's go with Aragorn. So you can upgrade that thrower to a blitzer and just play heavy combat. So I love this roster. I think it's all in. I think it's weird. I think it does some strange stuff. You're going to have a lot of fun throwing stuff around and just fighting above what you should be. This is my meme roster for the episode. I don't necessarily recommend this one, but you can do it. So there are going to be some times where you should. And let's face it, the fail case here is those human linemen, and your halflings are great. And in 7, stunties are fantastic. Your opponent tends to be quite spread out, so you're only going to have to take 1 or 2 cheeky stunty 3++ dodges. That is a good time. You can also pop a jump up on them and play paratroop. You can also go break tackle and turn one of those 3++s into a 2++ per turn. And then you can just really go to town with your halflings, or you can take a double, which you're probably not going to get, and take wrestle. I recommend jump up. Maybe, I think, quite frankly, leader on the thrower, and then you've already got strong arm on the tree, so you kind of just have a bit of an open play here. You're going to be down on your combat, but your kind of meme combo potential is right up there. I know that this is suboptimal, but if I was going to run OWA at a 7s event, I would probably take this one. The Slayer. Is he worth a blitzer and a lineman? No, I think the optimal one is probably the OTB Blitzer build, but I much prefer the OTB Slayer build. I love the fact you've got the ogre, you've got the human blitzer, you've got the thrower who's going to do thrower things, you've got some linemen, and then you've got this Slayer. So you've kind of got... this is a really solid mid-range build. You've got a big guy, you've got a couple of blitzers. The Slayer basically is a blitzer, it's just a very angry one. And you've got that thrower as well to be a very effective passer, or realistically just a really good runner. I like this roster. Taking leader on the thrower is something I would definitely do, and then probably guard on the ogre. That allows your ogre to be a good support piece, or maybe guard on the blitzer and have him hunt with the Slayer and use the ogre to anchor the other side of the flank. It's 7s. You're playing on a smaller area and you kind of got less to worry about, and I love it. Each of these players, and this is right, this is what's going to be so good about OWA and 7s. Each of these players is its own star in its own right. The ogre is going to feel so important to your team. That blitzer is going to feel awesome. That thrower is just going to be just really good as well. And the Slayer is going to feel great. What you're running here essentially is a human team with a Slayer added to it. And I guess that's why I like it so much, is because you cannot do that with a human team. Normally when you're looking at OWA, you're like, might as well just run halflings, might as well just run humans, except for this list right here. And I think if you're looking at the OTB Blitzer build, you can just run humans. Alright, get rid of the Dwarf Blitz, take another Blitzer, and you run humans. Happy times. This one though, you do not have a Slayer on the human team. You've got it here. And if you're playing in one of those 7s environments that we've talked about a couple of times that allows you to take one extra stunty player, so 4+1, you can sneak a halfling in here as well, and at that point this roster really starts being spicy. But yeah, I like this one. I think it's fun, it's great for painting, and each one of those players is going to feel really individual, and I've actually really enjoyed looking at OWA in 7s. I don't think they're going to be great, but they're going to give you a challenge. They're going to feel different. They're going to give you that challenge, and I think that's awesome. Anyway guys, going to wrap up here and paint some dwarves. So thanks very much for watching. Do let me know what you think of OWA. Please pop it in the comments because I am intrigued as to whether I'm being too excited for this team. And yeah, we'll be back again soon with more Blood Bowl content. Happy blocking. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support. If you want to support the show even further, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Or come and join us in our Patreon, link below, where you get early access to our content and monthly competitions. See you later.